Okay, we are finally moving on from points, lines, and planes. We're stepping it up a little bit, and we are now making angles. So we're going to run through this vocabulary quickly. Some of the stuff you've already heard about, refreshing from middle school, maybe even elementary school, and then you'll be done. So your first term is an angle, a figure formed by two rays that have the same endpoint. There are three ways to name an angle. You can name the angle by its number. So this would be angle 1. You can name it by its vertex. So this could be angle Y. Or you could name it by the three letters contained within it. So this could be angle X, Y, Z. And this was three letters. They're not always numbered, so that doesn't always work. If your angles share a ray, you can't use the vertex. You'd have to use the three letters, and you'll see that in just a little bit. So this is how you'll typically see it, is with three letters. So just be aware. And then the middle letter is always your vertex. So for example, right here, angle number 2, we can't call angle 2 angle E because all three of these angles share the letter E. So if I just said letter E, you wouldn't really know what I was talking about. So angle 2 could be BEA, or you could go backwards and say AEB, and that would be the same. So then we have different ways to classify angles. These are numbers 4 through 7 on your paper. We'll start with number 4. Number 4 is obtuse angles. These angles are more than 90 but less than 180. Number 5 is right angles, have to be 90 degrees. Number 6 is straight angles, which is 180 degrees. It looks like a straight line, because it is. And then number 7 is acute angles that are greater than 0 but less than 90. So if we're thinking smallest to largest, acute is the smallest, and then right, and then obtuse, and then straight. We'll talk about that later. So you've done angle pairs before. Supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. This is number 3. And then complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So this is 2. Complementary and supplementary, 180, 90 degrees. So then we can talk about finding the complements and supplements of the angles because we know what their total should be. So the complement of 45, that means, remember, complements are 90 degrees. So if one of my angles is 45, what does the other angle have to be in order for the two angles to be complements of each other? Well, it'd have to be 45 because 90 minus 45 equals 45. The complement of x would be 90 minus x. The supplement of 115 would be 180. 180. Little pen is not working. There we go. Minus 115. Supplement of x would be 180 minus x. I think you get the picture. I'm going to go back to this angle addition thing. This is because this works with the complement supplement. So it's something you've already known, it's just now we have a term for it. It's angle addition, just like we had segment addition. Basically, if point B is in the interior of AOC, so this is interior, then AOB plus M plus the measure of BOC equals the whole angle. So it's just like the segment. This little piece plus this little piece equals the whole angle. And that's how it works with complementary and supplementary angles. So if I wanted to know AOC, and I knew that AOB was 35 and BOC was 80, and to find the whole thing, I just add those together. PRV is 11, and then SRW is 28. So how do I find this one? Well, if all of this is 90 because of this little right angle thing, then I would subtract those from 90 to get what that is. We're going to have a lot of practice with that, so we're going to move on for now. On the back, we have a few different, so you already know about complementary, supplementary, those are angle relationships. We also have linear pair. A linear pair is two angles that are adjacent and supplementary. Linear pair, basically two angles that make a straight line. It has the word line in it. Oh, sorry, that was number 8. A linear pair has to be supplementary, has to be adjacent. So if they're not adjacent, it's not a linear pair. So yes, these two angles add up to be 180 degrees. So that makes them supplementary. But because they're not next to each other, they don't make a linear pair. So a linear pair has to form a straight line. They have to be together and form a straight line. I said adjacent a couple times. You think you already know what it is, but adjacent angles are two coplanar angles. So they're in the same plane with a common vertex and a common side and no common interior point. So it's just two angles that are next to each other that share a side. So angle 1 is these two rays, and angle 2 is these two rays, so they share that one together. And this is term 9. Adjacent just means next to each other. Term 10 is vertical angles. It's the opposite angles formed when two lines intersect. So you have two intersecting lines, 1 and 3 are a pair of vertical angles. And then 2 and 4 are a pair of other vertical angles. So vertical angles are the opposite angles in intersections. The two lines have to intersect. So these two angles, they're not formed from intersecting lines. So something you can kind of look at is angle 2 from this line and this line. Angle 1, those lines have to continue. In this case, angle 3 is from this line and this line. So those lines would have to continue for angle 4. Like this one, it would have to be like this. So if there was an angle down here, then these would be vertical. So you're looking for the lines to continue. Number 11, number 12, an angle bisector. A ray that divides an angle into two congruent angles. So hey, this is really similar to segment bisectors. Remember, bisector means two. Bi means two. Sector is just sections. So the angle bisector divides it into two congruent sections. That's number 11. 12. sorry, 12. And then number 11 is congruent angles. Angles that have the same measure are congruent. Okay, you're going to be answering these 6 questions on your feedback. Don't forget to do your feedback. Don't forget to go click on that link and fill in the form. And so it's just going to be a list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that you're matching with A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, that is it. Have a good day. I'll see you in class. You're done.